I'm honored to share a little bit about Dr. Michael Kale. My name is Dr. Kyle Troyer, and I've actually started with the Kale seminars back in the last seminar that Dr. Kale was on the planet, the one before he graduated, which was in the spring of 2001. And Dr. Kale was there that day. He sat at the back the whole time, and this was when the Friday, Saturday seminars would happen, where it would be all day Friday and then all day Saturday. And Dr. Kale had come that day. It was my first Kale seminar, and I was sitting on the front trying to soak up all this information, and all the redcoats were doing all the teaching. Dr. Kale was kind of hanging out in the back. He wasn't doing too well at that time. I didn't know all of the story at that moment, but I just remember at lunch on that Friday, everybody got up to leave and go maybe to the Beacon or something, you know, where they'd go for lunch, and Dr. Kale walked up and he said, "All the new people up front." And I said, "Well, that's me." And 5 of us sat in a little circle, and Dr. Kale sat down, and he just started to spill chiropractic philosophy and principle and passion, and it was unbelievable. And I'll never forget sitting and listening, soaking it all in and saying, "Man, this is incredible." In fact, I don't even remember a word he said, but I could still feel the presence that he had that day. And sure enough, this is towards the end of the lunch hour. He was still talking, and Jeff Mason, Dr. Jeffrey Mason, came up and was doing this, "Doc, knock it off," and he wouldn't stop. And Mama Charlotte come up and like, "Doc, come on, you gotta quit, and you gotta stop," and he won. And finally they had to, 2 people, one under each arm, had to lift Doc up and pull him backwards out of the room, and he was still talking. And I just turned and watched, and I said, "Man, that is incredible. That guy is so fired up about what he does. I've got to have what's going on with him." So I stood up, walked to the phone and called my parents and said they needed to make an appointment with Dr. Mason, even though he was 5.5 hours away. And I said, "This is what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life." I'll never forget that point in the road where it's go this way or it's go this way. Dr. Kale showed me that I needed to go this way. And it's absolutely changed my life, and it's changed, I can't even imagine, thousands of people, how many lives have changed because Dr. Kale took the time to share with us. So I want to say a thank you to Dr. Kale. Your life changed my life, and I am just so pleased to be able to do the work that you laid out for us to do. Thank you very much.